What is going on? Forza Milan, Forza Milan. The World Cup final is upon us. Just a few things I want to say. I'm looking forward for the Serie A to start again because I'm looking forward to going on with the regular schedule and making, you know, doing. I'm looking forward for Milan news. That's going to be coming up in January. We're going to be following the news very closely. We're going to see what Milan does. We're going to also pay attention to what the other teams do. So that is going to be coming up soon in January. Looking forward for that. Also, the Campionato is about to start 4th of January. First game, Milan against Salernitana. So right off the bat, against a team that I hope we beat right away. I mean, Salernitana is at this point. It is pointless to say, these are teams that we must win because we all know this, and the team knows this. The team just needs to make sure that they get it done because if we lose points against the smaller teams, then things might get very complicated. Uh, we got to get we got to beat Salernitana. We got to have a statement win. I mean, honestly, I don't even care if it's a statement win, but the team just needs to get those 3 points. Napoli is playing against Inter straight off the bat. I think both teams, from what I'm seeing, are going to start with a lot of, anticipation. Um, so from what I'm seeing, it's going to be a competitive match. Who knows if Inter wins that game? All of a sudden the Campionato just opens up. So watch out. That is going to be a crucial game for the Campionato based on how things are set up currently. If everything goes in our direction, we win against Salernitana, Inter wins against Napoli, and then all of a sudden it's 5 points. Even if Inter ties against Napoli, it's some points you have recovered. But again, we have to win that game. Um, and then there's Sampdoria, and then there is Napoli is playing Sampdoria, and then Napoli is playing Juventus. Now, Juventus is going to try and take some points off of Napoli. So the best scenario for us, for the Milan for us, is basically that Inter and Juve, the two more equipped teams, let's say, can take points away from Napoli, but we have to win points. So that is a scenario in which things open up again. Other scenarios are what I think the most likely scenario is going to be. I think Milan is going to win the game against Salernitana. I think Milan has to win against the game against Salernitana. So I think Napoli is going to either tie or win against Inter. And I think that things are going to keep on going this way. I think Napoli is going to keep on winning, and they're going to separate themselves from the pack. We are going to be the closest ones to chase them because we are the second healthiest team right now, and I think that's how it's going to keep on going. But if it goes like that, to be honest with you, it's good. It's good because what matters is what happens in that final month, those 2 final months, but especially the final month. And there, anything is possible. As long as we are in the race until the final month and a half, everything is possible. We saw this in 1999 with Zaccheroni. We've seen this times with other teams when other teams won the Scudetto. So, but you have to stay in the race. I think Milan has everything they need to stay in the race. And if they don't, then it's their fault. It's our fault. It's our fault. We take responsibility. Regardless, best result for the team of this season, no matter what, continues to be. This is not my opinion. This is the goal, the objective of Maldini. He has said this is always secure top four for the next 10 years. Secure top four for the next 10 years. Mission accomplished. We get back to where we ought to be. So that objective, I'm not too worried about. I'm not too worried about that objective. Of course, if Milan keeps the same team, in January doesn't change too many pieces, I think top four is secured, but it's going to be not easy because the competition I think is going to be extremely competitive coming this next season. I have a feeling that especially the Italian teams, like Italy in general as a country, not having participated in the football in the World Cup, it's a wake up call. I kind of feel that. I kind of sense that, and the World Cup definitely does affect the way certain countries approach their football, and I think that there's going to be a little bit of in Italian the word is riscatto. They want to win some. They want to get it back. They want to get that thing back. Being able to be considered at the top. I've seen things like this happen before. So I think in Italy things are going to get very competitive. I think this Serie A is going to be extremely competitive. And they're really going to be fighting for it. Roma wants a piece of that pie, the top four. Lazio, they know they can take the top four because they have everything they need to take the top four. Atalanta has been in this top four. Juventus wants the top four. Inter won the top four. Napoli won the top four. And of course, Milan won the top four. We got a lot of teams fighting for those four positions in the end. So it's going to be quite the battle. It's going to be a very exciting Serie A. As of now, where I stand, as far as I see the rankings, I definitely see Napoli as number one in this moment. As far as their the way they play, the way they're built currently, Milan is number two. Milan is definitely right up there, and then after that, um, I guess it has to be Inter, Juve, but really after that, the other teams are not extremely impressive, to be honest with you. They're all fighting for something, but they're not extremely impressive. Um, and that is something strange that happened this season. Even though, if we really look at how the team was built during this calcio mercato, we have noticed that the team nonetheless dominates against teams that it didn't used to dominate, right? When we play against Napoli this time around, we dominated that game from beginning to end. We held the ball. We were dictating play. You see, we were dictating play. Against Inter, Milan dictated play. Against Juve, Milan dictated play. And last year, we didn't see this as much against the bigger teams, right? We saw moments where Milan had to suffer, and Milan had to suffer the game of the adversaries, but not anymore. So there's definitely this growth that has happened between the players that were there from last season. Leao, definitely, he's grown, he's more mature. Um, everybody, everybody knows who the players are. They all are more mature. But we're a real team. We're a team built to win, and we're a team built to also want to win trophies, which is something that Pioli said in his last interview. He says that what he teaches his players, what he wants to put in the head of his players, that every competition you're playing for, you're playing to win it. You're playing to win the Champions League. That's what Pioli said in his interview. He said the players need to believe, need to approach that the way when they enter on that field in the Champions League, they're playing to win the whole thing. They're not playing to get to the quarterfinal, to get to the set. No, they're playing for the whole thing. That is the obligation of a team. Serie A, we're playing for the whole thing. That is the obligation of a team. Coppa Italia, we are playing for the whole thing. That is the obligation of a team. Supercoppa Italiana, we are playing to win that. That is the obligation of the team. So he's putting this is the idea that he's putting into the head of the players. Also because the players have tasted trophy. They have tasted gold, and it's what's the saying? It's easy to be a champion, but it's difficult being consistently a champion. So yeah. So anyway, these were interesting words that Pioli told his players recently, and it tells you, it gives you information on how they will approach this upcoming season. They're going to approach the season wanting to win it. And that's what we want from these players. Because as long as they do that, the minimum objectives will always, well, 99% always be reached. And as long as we reach the minimum objective every year, which is finish in the top four, which gives you the opportunity again to compete in the Champions League, get that Champions League revenue, use the Champions League to build the team because you can attract better players when you're in the Champions League. And then you try it again. And you throw your cards on the table and you gamble it again. This is the nature of sports. You lose today, you play to win tomorrow. That's the way. That's the nature of sports. So as long as Milan can reach that minimum objective every year, like I mean, for me, guys, I feel in seven. I'm in seven heaven. I am in seven heaven. And I am positive that Milan, with just the trainings, with the mentality, with the growth that the team continues to do, can get to the point and will get to the point where all of a sudden, the same way we were big dogs in Serie A, this team full of youngsters that nobody believed in them because they're all these little youngsters, no names, under 21 players making no money, players that didn't cost anything. Nobody was paid 80 million, 70 million, 130 million, 7 million salary. None of this. All players that nobody even knew. They become big dogs in Italy. And that's going to happen in Europe too. Now, it's just a matter of time. It's a matter of time. Of course, the question of course the question remains, what happens with our best players? Do they stay or do they go? So that is the big statement. Look, I can only give my opinion on this situation. Obviously, I don't know what the club is going to do, but if I would give a suggestion, if I were to suggest something to the club, it would be, unless you already have your replacements and you already have deals with your replacements and you already foresaw this and you've already covered your butt, then okay, do this operation in January, meaning sell Leao in January, only if they are 100% positive about who their replacement is going to be and that they can get it. So when you're going to replace Leao, you can't replace Leao with any player. You're replacing the top G of top Gs in Italy. You need to replace him with a top G of top Gs. Otherwise, what happens? What happens? Otherwise, the quality of a team goes down. The efficiency of the team goes down. This is just a natural. It's mathematics. It's just mathematics. And why? And from a sporting sense, there is no logic in doing that. But anyway, so what I would suggest for Maldini is to not sell Leao or Benacer. Keep him until the summer. Motivate these guys to perform highly this year, because this year we can do really well. We can do really well, and as long as the opportunity is there, you have to go in it with the mentality of knowing you're going to reach the furthest you can. And it's a good place, it's a good spot. Meaning, I mean, of course, let's talk about Tottenham, right? Tottenham is not a team that we should underestimate. Tottenham is not a team that we should think, well, it was just Tottenham. We could have gotten Bayern, we could have gotten Man City, we could have gotten all these teams. At the end of the day, we got a really good team coached by a super top G coach, and they have a few top G players in there. But it's the team that has the least amount of top G-ness. You know what I'm saying? It's the team that has the least amount of top genius out of all the other teams that we could have faced. And I think that our level of top G is a little bit superior than Tottenham's. And I think we have the edge on this one. I think we have the edge on this one. I'm being honest. I'm being 100% honest. And I'm being objective about it. Tottenham is a team that Milan can beat. I mean, of course, the inevitable can happen, and Milan again cannot beat an English team. Of course, that can happen, and will it happen? I don't know, but I think that if you play this game correctly, you're good. You're good, and you're ready in the quarterfinals. Once you're in the quarterfinals, you can start thinking about that semifinal, and then when you're in the semifinal, you can start thinking about that final. So I think the quarterfinals are not out of our reach. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And if I were to do the mercato for Maldini this January, I would tell Maldini, yo, Maldini, keep this core. They're kicking ass, but add a little bit more of, pizzazz, or put some fire under Origi's and Rebic's butt, because those two need to start performing at a much higher level. So it's one or the other. Either Origi and Rebic start producing assists, producing goals, producing winning games on a consistent level. Then okay, at that point we're having a different conversation. But today, our players that are producing numbers, consistent numbers, up top are Leao and Giroud. And then you have Theo Hernandez, he's a defender. That guy's a defender. That guy's a defender, and he's producing a lot of numbers. But everybody else, Brahim Diaz has stepped it up. Brahim Diaz has stepped it up this season. Salamakers has two important numbers in the Champions League. We'll take those. Messias, he's producing to kind of like what we expect him to produce. Rebic Origi underproducing. There is no question about this. There is no question about this, and they need to be either put in the position to produce at a higher level, or they need to be like, yo, you guys gotta step it up here. That's one of the issues right now with Milan. One of the reasons why Milan is not playing like that crisp offensive football like Napoli is because you have players like Rebic and Origi that are Origi less, more so Rebic, that are performing at an incredibly low level for what they're being paid and for what they're worth. And this, I think, needs to be said, because you fix these two elements here, all of a sudden it's a different story. All of a sudden it is a different story. And maybe you can add a few elements. Okay, take Ali, put him out on loan. That opens a spot for a midfielder. So bring in another player. Could be a midfielder, a top level midfielder. Maybe Amrabat. Ibrahimovic spoke about Amrabat. Yeah, bring me Amrabat. Bring me Ziyech. Hey, the two Moroccan players, they had a great World Cup. Bring Ziyech, bring Amrabat in this team. All of a sudden, this team is completely different. But keep Benacer, keep Amrabat, keep Tonali, keep everybody. Put Ali and whoever you need on loan. Maybe get Ziyech on loan until summer, and I don't know, find a way to get Amrabat, or tell Origi and Rebic to move their ass. It's those two things. And I think that, that's the only thing that is separating us from glory. But I do want to say something, that our formation in the Champions League, when we played that 4-2-3-1, you had Theo Hernandez, Tomori, Kalulu. I think it was the Kalulu on the right. Yeah, Kalulu on the right, Kjaer, Tomori, Theo Hernandez. So that defense, put Mike Magnan in that defense. We had the Tatarusano in that defense, but add Mike Magnan to that defense. Then the double pivot, Benacer, Tonali, and then that attacking midfield, Krunic. And then on the right, Rebic, on the left, Leao, up top, Giroud. That is a solid-ass formation. That formation is one of the best formations in Italy. That formation right there. You can put Kalulu and Tomori in the middle and put Calabria there, and you have even more quality going up top, and you can even play some top G football with that formation. And that formation is the formation that won us two games in the Champions League consecutively, 4-0, 4-0. But he never tried that formation in Serie A. That's the formation he should go for. That is the top G formation that he should be playing. Rebic on the right, Krunic attacking midfield, Leao left, Giroud up top, covered by Benacer, Tonali with double pivots, the defensive line of four, Theo, Tomori, Kalulu, Calabria, or Theo, Tomori, Kjaer, Kalulu. You can change that however you want based on what you need. Mike Magnan in goal. That formation there is the most balanced formation that in the Serie A. That is the most balanced, perfect formation in the Serie A. Of course, you need, and that gives the opportunity for Rebic to perform at high level. Why isn't Rebic performing at high level? Rebic is performing at high level because he doesn't like to sit on the bench. He doesn't like to be the second guy to Leao. But you keep him on the right, you play him on the right, you have a top G right there because he's going to bring back, his level. He's going to bring it back. That is Milan's best option if they don't do anything in the market. Yeah. Now, let's see. Yeah, so that's the way right now, like Milan short. I gotta say honestly, if we want to talk about something, let's talk about these friendlies. Um, Pioli is obviously not happy in these friendlies because being able to not go through the Serie D team, that is not good. That is really not good. Your team should be doing much better than that. Pioli knows that. And then Arsenal. So apparently Pioli was very aggressive in the game, and Odegaard, the Arsenal player, went to Pioli and told him a few times, "Yo, shut the fuck up! It's only a friendly," kind of thing. So I don't know. It just gives me this idea that Pioli is a little bit frustrated, and that's okay. That's fine. It's fine that he's frustrated. The important thing is that when we get our pieces back, we win against Salernitana, and we win the Supercoppa. That'll be a nice game to win. All these things bring good motivation. All right. Anyway, so that's the situation with Milan. Now, I just want to say what I think about the World Cup, and I'll finish there tonight. So, World Cup, I was wrong about something. Argentina. When I saw Argentina Holland play, I saw a very nasty attitude from Argentina, very provocative. But against Croatia, I realized it was Holland that really Holland provoked, was the provocateur, pretty much. Let's put it that way. So I got that wrong. I thought that Argentina would have approached the game in a similar fashion. Rather, no, Argentina actually played very, very professional football, very tactically, very sound. Argentina very balanced, extremely balanced. The defense, the midfield, the offense, everything works perfectly. It's a very well built team where everything works, and they played with the right attitude and they won 3-0. And Alvarez, the kid that we were linked to, had a really good game. And Messi had his penalty, and I think Messi also got an assist, and then someone else scored 3-0. I think it was a well-deserved. It wasn't the best game. It was quite a boring game actually, overall. Croatia, unfortunately, doesn't really have anything offensively. They have a great midfielder, which is Modric, and they have fantastic football players that work around Modric. But offensively, they have zero. They don't have anything. So it's very difficult for Croatia. Very difficult for Croatia. While Argentina has defense, midfield, and offense, they have it all. So Argentina definitely deserves to be in the final. Seeing all the other teams, Argentina deserves to be in the final. Other game, France, Morocco. Great thing for Milanisti. Theo. Theo was the guy that scored in the semifinal. Giroud had some really good opportunities. France, just like Argentina, if you look at these teams, it is the best built team. It is the team with defense, midfield, and offense. And just like Argentina, all the spaces that need to be covered, it's quality. It's quality. Everywhere is quality, and everywhere is quantity and quality. Um, so it's looks like it's going to be a very even match, to be honest with you, if you really look at it that way. Both of them have a top superstar up top. Both of the teams offensively work very well. You know, it's not just Messi that is working very well. It is Alvarez, it is the other guys, Enzo Fernandez. He's coming up. He's doing his part offensively too. And France is the same. It's really Mbappe. Sometimes Mbappe doesn't even need to have a great performance because you have Giroud, and Giroud has scored goals. You have Dembele, you have Griezmann. So both teams have offensive options. Both teams have a very good, solid midfield. Um, um, and both defenses are more or less the same. Maybe the difference is going to be the weight. Maybe France a little bit more bigger as far as muscle. You have Chamini there in the middle. You have Rabiot. Both of those two guys are really big. While the Argentina team is a little bit smaller, but it where it levels up is the quality. The Argentinian players have a little bit more quality, so it's going to be the midfield battle is going to be quite even. It looks like it's going to be quite even. The question is, which player is easier to stop, Messi or Mbappe? Uh, that's a really good question. That's a really good question. Has Varane and who is the other defender? Konate. Have they stopped Messi before? Probably they have. Probably they have. They've probably even stopped Mbappe before. I don't know. It's difficult to tell. It's difficult to say which team is going to edge this one. You know, to be as objective as possible, both teams are almost exactly the same. They're almost exactly the same. Not necessarily in how they play or how they're built, but as far as balance, as far as they're both perfectly balanced teams in every department of the field. Having said that, I want to talk about Morocco. Morocco a little bit unfortunate to go out. I got to say that Morocco's run was really epic, and it was a victory in itself. So Morocco getting to the semifinals is a victory for football, is a victory for Morocco, victory for Africa, victory for the growth of football in the on the planet. And it was really awesome to see Morocco do that, and it made this World Cup really special. So again, we have another World Cup that is absolutely 100% magical. Every single World Cup is magical, and this one is another one which is absolutely magical. So Morocco, even though they go out, yeah, they pretty much go out with a W, with a win. So good on them. One thing I did notice about Morocco this time around is the issue with Morocco is that or maybe just luck, really, today, if you think about it. Because if that player did not slip when that through ball was passed to Griezmann, that Moroccan defender, I don't know his name, he slipped, then that opened up the play. If he wouldn't have slipped, uh, you know, it would have been a different story. Then also the second goal that France scored was a little bit, it came out of a good play from Mbappe, but Mbappe kicked the ball. It was deflected, and Colomane was lucky to be in the right spot. Basically, it was a good play from France and good play from Mbappe, but it was a casual kind of goal. So I think it was really luck. I think if you really think about it, luck was not on Morocco's side, essentially. But France is a team that is super balanced, super balanced. It is. It has everything from the goalkeeper to the defense to the midfield to the offense, wings, center forward. Every position in the 4-2-3-1 is absolutely covered. Argentina plays. Oh, Morocco. One thing that I noticed about Morocco, they only play really. Everything is focused on Ziyech and Hakimi, and then you had another player in the middle that sometimes it went through him, but that is not enough. You see, that is not a balanced team. That is a team that is just on one side of the field. The other side of the field actually did pretty good, but it was mostly on one side of the field. It was a one-sided affair, and that is usually, difficult. It is difficult. You need to have a certain. You have to, everything needs to be balanced, in order for your system to work, and balance can be done in different ways. It doesn't necessarily mean um, 60 right, 40 left. It can be done. Yeah, it can be done in different ways. So Morocco definitely misses a little bit of that, but I do think that Amrabat was absolutely phenomenal in this World Cup, and he looked like a really good player. Amrabat is definitely a player that Milan should be looking at. Even Ibrahimovic said that we should be looking at Amrabat. I got to say that after he got dribbled by Mbappe, he shut down. He shut down after that second goal. He completely shut off. And I liked Ziyech. I like what I saw from Ziyech. Ziyech definitely has the ability to create interesting moments. He has some good runs into space. His dribbling is okay. It's good. He knows how to open up the space going back to set himself up for the left, and then swing in the left footers. So he's good at that, but he can also use his right. He can be creative. Ziyech is an interesting player, and I think that Ziyech is definitely moving. I really think Ziyech is moving. At this point, I don't know if Ziyech is coming to Milan anymore, but I think if we have Ziyech on the right side, okay. So ideally speaking, CDK. Why did let's talk about CDK a little bit. Why did CDK come to Milan? Why did CDK come to Milan? Think about how Pioli has been playing his attacking midfield, right? The cam role. Pioli has been playing the cam role. He has his own way of looking at the camera roll. It's a hybrid midfielder, hybrid attacking midfielder, meaning he wants a guy that is going to cover all the spaces that he asks him to cover. He's going to cover a certain amount of field that he's required to cover, do it the way a midfielder would do it. But when he has the ball, he needs to play like an attacking midfielder. What does that mean? He needs to produce numbers. That's what attacking midfielders do. They produce numbers from hockey assists, goals, or just starting the play that eventually leads up to the goal. So, who in Serie A is the number one at doing this? There's one player that every year consistently has been doing this, playing this kind of role. His name is Sergej Milinkovic-Savic, a player that is essentially an advanced midfielder that produces a lot of numbers. Milankovic, um, the Lazio player, every year he's either first or second when it comes to assists, and he's a midfielder that will finish a season with 11 goals and 11 assists. So if you think about it, what does Pioli want? Pioli wants a player that can do what Milinkovic Savic does. So they looked at CDK and they say, okay, this is the right guy. This is the guy that can do what he does. The issue is that CDK right now can't do that. But we have another player that can cover that space, and that player is Krunic. Uh, but eventually, CDK will be able to do that. That's the thing. Eventually, CDK will be able to be the next Milinkovic-Savic, meaning an attacking midfielder, hybrid midfielder, but CDK probably more quality, a little bit more quality than Milinkovic-Savic. So essentially, that is the goal for CDK because he is not your typical attacking midfielder. He does not have the numbers of a typical attacking midfielder. He almost looks like he should be playing in the double pivot to me, honestly. So I feel like he's a double. If you put him in the double pivot, he's going to perform even better. So he's essentially a midfielder. He's essentially a midfielder that has quality, has offensive qualities. So he's exactly what Pioli wants for his system. This player is exactly what Pioli wants, but he's not performing. He's not performing at the level he should be performing. He knows that. Everybody knows that. It's not a secret. That's the way it is. When you don't perform, you know that you're going to have to get to perform. But anyway, so that's essentially what he wants. So if Milan can get to that level where you can have Leao on the left, uh, CDK performing like Milankovic-Savic, attacking midfield, and Ziyech on the right, Giroud up top, or whoever, or Ibrahimovic up top soon, covered by Tonali and Benacer. Remember, CDK should be playing like Milankovic-Savic, meaning he covers as much as he attacks. If that's the idea, we're talking about a super top level squad, super top level squad. That is, but the thing is, we gotta wait for CDK. We gotta wait for CDK. But in the meantime, we have another scenario, which is Krunic. Krunic, Krunic is good enough for you. No, actually, Krunic is more than good enough. Krunic right now, if we play Krunic, Benacer, Tonali in our midfield, on the right, Rebic, on the left, Leao, up top, Giroud, that team there is one of the top GS teams there is in Italy. In Europe, I don't know, but in Italy for sure. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, never mind. Let me get back to Ziyech. So Ziyech is a very interesting player, and if he does come to Milan, I think it'd be a good operation. Uh, yeah. So between the Morocco Croatia, I don't know. I don't really care too much about that game, to be honest with you. I feel like it is. I don't really care about the third spot. I think it'll be nice for Morocco to win it, but any team that wins that, I think, be good. Anyway, what's up? I haven't looked at the chat here. What's up, Andon? How you doing, man? Haitian Montana Till scored today. Yeah, what's up? We win, Inter wins. Hopefully, we win all games in January. Hopefully, Rigi 20. Okay. Did you see Leo's tweet? What did he say? Singing Theo's praise? Oh, yeah. That's cool. Theo Hernandez showed his dog Dumfries how it's done. Theo curb stomp Hakimi. The talent coming out of France is crazy. These guys lost so many players. Lead them to. Yeah, that's true. That is definitely true. They have a lot of players out, but yet they have a lot of talent. Yeah, it's probably going to be a very cagey game, like 1-0. Yeah, maybe. You know, maybe. Rather Milan with Turoshani to win over Argentina. Both of them can open up space for the teammates by attracting defenders. 2 penalties not given to Morocco. I don't remember. Amrabat is how old? I think he's 24. He's pretty young. Amrabat said that Deschamps ordered Giroud to mark him out of the game. Yeah, that's what you would want to do. Yeah, he said he complained that Giroud that he was sticking to him too much, and Giroud said, "Sorry, man, coach's order." Nice. Deschamps is actually really good. I gotta say, Deschamps with his tactical disposition, the way he organized his team, was really good, very good. The same thing goes for the Scaloni, the Argentinian coach. Same guy goes for the Moroccan coach. Same goes for him. Um, yeah. All right. Okay. So yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on the Milan, the season right now, and the World Cup. I can't wait for the Serie to start again so we can start doing our regular shows. The watch along, my post matches, but also Milan news. So right now, I'm just doing these late night streams, talking about the things that I'm seeing, the things that I think, the things that I'm sensing. Um, I think that's about it. Arsenal plays Juventus. Interesting. Very curious to see how that goes. I've seen Napoli; they're two friendlies. They played against Pirlo's team in Turkey, and they played against Crystal Palace. They both won. They won both games. Both games, Raspadori scored a brace, and he also had an assist. Napoli played usual kind of football, very very attractive football, very efficient football, and very the the attackers are looking very good for Napoli. I haven't seen Roma, but Roma I know had a few friendlies. They didn't get some good results. Let's see. Our next friendly is going to be against Liverpool. Actually, let me finish on this. Let me finish on the friendly that Milan had against Arsenal. Let me finish on that, and then I'll call it a night. So I gotta say, underwhelming performance. But I do think that Ali continues to be the best players, the best player in the friendlies. But for some reason, we don't see him in the first team. I really like it the way Ali plays. I really wish we would see more of Ali. I really think this is a really tough one because I know why coaches would take out a player, right? Usually they take out a player. They don't play a player because what they see in training, what they sense from the player, is that the player is not at the same level. This is why coaches play. When I have a team and I decide these are the players that play are the ones that are showing me they are the best, right? The best players are the ones that play. And you see this. You see it when you train your players every day, who the best one is, who is the one that plays at the highest level. And then also you have tactical purposes, etc., etc. But now, so I don't know what Pioli is seeing in Ali. I'm assuming he thinks that this guy is not as good as Velvet guys. But the interesting thing is that every time this guy plays in a friendly, he's always the best player. So can anybody make some sense out of this? Like, how is he always the best player in the friendlies, but yet Pioli thinks he's not good enough to be in the first team? This is when things just do not make sense. What is happening with Ali? The friendly, I thought it was a poor game, guys. Let's be honest. Milan is playing pretty poorly right now. I think, they're getting ready. They're getting ready. I think they'll be ready for Salernitana once the competition starts to feel real again. They're going to start playing at that higher level. Also, the players need to come back. Theo needs to come back. Giroud, Leao. Benacer just got back from. But again, you would always expect a little bit more. From the friendlies. You always would expect a little bit more, but for some reason you just don't get it. You just don't get it. Let me see. Let me just do this. 1 second. Do, 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 do. I did think that Arsenal attack better. I like the way Arsenal attacks. They didn't look that dangerous, to be honest with you. Arsenal didn't all look extremely dangerous. Um, Ranks had a decent performance, I guess. I mean, to be honest with you, like Milan didn't look bad. Like when they were building from the back, from the back, it didn't look that bad. You know, I think my issue with Milan right now is just that Rebic and Origi are not performing at the highest levels, and that's what I would like to see. Yeah, that was a good moment from Origi. Definitely great play here. Great shot. Hits the crossbar. If I would have come in, I would have heard all. Oh, man, if Origi would have scored that goal, I would have heard. I would have heard it all. Origi 100. Origi the best player in the world. It would have been crazy. So as you can see, I mean, Milan did attack, did come forward. Um, there's this question: why do we keep on losing? Why do we keep losing against English teams? I don't know. Maybe it's a mentality thing. It's a mentality. By the way, guys, Roma beat Tottenham in the summer friendlies. Roma beat Tottenham in the summer friendlies, and that was a competitive game. None of those teams wanted to lose. I saw that game when it was Tottenham was chasing that match. Yeah, there was a nice play from Ali. You know, um, Salamakers. Good to see him back, but he's far from good form. This was a nice goal by Odegaard. Tatursano didn't dive. I think you can dive there. I think you can dive. Hello?
What's up?
How come you're awake?
Because I'm studying. It's midnight.
Oh, shit. You're supposed to study during the day after you finish your classes, not at midnight.
I've been studying, but I study a lot.
What are you studying?
I have finals coming up very soon, so some science and math.
Science and math, huh?
Yeah.
How come Origi can't calibrate the distance of the goal and can't center the ball between the posts?
Yeah.
Like.
Did you see that crossbar though?
But what's the mathematical equations that he's doing that he keeps getting wrong?
He's probably not even He's just not doing the math like while he's playing.
Yeah,
Did you see the crossbar?
yeah, that was a great play. If he would have scored that, I would have heard it all. Oh my god, I would have heard it all.
So Roy, what are your thoughts on the power of the Premier League?
What about it?
You know, uh, Arsenal took us to school. Took, or should I say, took Milan.
Oh, you're talking about this friendly here?
Yeah.
No, I can't. I can't count this friendly. I mean, we don't have Theo, we don't have Leao. It's like
You
with
don't have
Ranks is
Saka,
playing. Ranks is playing.
Gab
Pu-
Jesus.
Pobega is playing as a left back. Tatarusano is a goalkeeper. No, I think. Listen, I told you, man. If our well, I don't know if you heard it, but you give me Theo Hernandez, Kalulu Tomori Calabria, Tonali, Benacer, Then Leao, Krunic, Rebic, and Giroud up top. We're beating any team in Europe, bro. Any team.
Oh my gosh.
Like there's no contest.
So Milan Champions League this year?
If Milan have a opportunity to play every game with that formation, yes, we could win the Champions League. Yeah, absolutely.
How many teams though get to have their ideal formation every single game?
Uh, yeah, obviously there's always situations where you're missing one guy or missing another. Yeah, not yeah. I mean, it depends. You can make it if you're lucky. It's all luck. It's all in luck. That's the luck game there. Because you might lose a player from an injury, like, but you don't anticipate. You can't anticipate certain injuries.
Yeah. Did you see they were booing?
What your voice is cutting in and out.
I said they were booing Tomori.
Oh yeah, I read this or someone said this. So what's the deal with that? Why?
It's so dumb. Like I couldn't believe. So when I heard it, I was like, "What? Are you serious? What are we doing? Like are we watching wrestling or soccer?" But when I was watching, basically like Tomori, like this like guy on Arsenal, I think his name's Marquinhos. I think he was like he pushed or was like complaining about a play, and then Tomori went up to him and like I think brushed him or something, and then he like fell and started flopping. It's this guy right here, and after that, like he faked an injury. I don't know. He was barely. He didn't even touch him, and the whole like all the Arsenal supporters just booed Tomori for the rest of the game as he got the ball in unison. Like it was the stupidest thing. I'm like, what? Of all the places to do that, we're doing this in like a summer friendly in Dubai. Like you're gonna be booing a player like for that stupid little thing where so much worse has happened. Like it didn't make sense at all.
Oh, I didn't see that part. I didn't see it.
So dumb. Like the fans there are just a bunch of like they're not they're fake fans.
But I mean, the Arsenal fans were booing Tomori, not Milan fans.
Yeah. I don't know. Tomori scored. No way. Yeah. Satoru Sano is useless at pens. To be honest with you, I have no idea how he saved the Lautaro penalty last year. Like I was actually shocked.
That penalty there was great. Lazetic.
Yeah, I because usually I can kind of sense when a goalkeeper is good or bad at penalties.
That was a terrible penalty. Yeah.
Like for example, I'm not saying that Allison is a too bad at penalties, but when I've seen him in Liverpool penalty shootouts, he hasn't really done too well. But like other goalkeepers, like the Moroccan goalkeeper, for example, like he looks like he's much more, and also the Argentina's goalkeeper, they look very like ready for penalties. They're very like mentally, and they're just ready. And I don't either with Rosano, I think it's more like an age thing. But when I see him, he just looks like he's not going to save anything. Like he doesn't really react.
Okay, listen, I'm going to play a little bit devil's advocate here. Tatarusano, I mean, I think you exaggerate a little bit, but I mean, yeah, we know what level Tatarusano is. Like, it's not a secret, you know? It's not like it's a secret.
Yes, but my main point of saying that is just I think that even though he's a second goalkeeper, we should have a better second goalkeeper. And I'm not saying that he has to be amazing, but he has to be competent.
Well, that's, it looks like they're trying to get Sportiello. Did you see this?
Yeah.
It looks like they're trying to get Sportiello.
I heard about that. I mean, I know he hasn't played a lot recently. He did play for Atalanta before, like he was getting minutes. The thing is though, I mean, I don't know how old he is because Mirante was getting minutes too, but then he like went on that long break and then he came to us and he hasn't really played a game since. So I hope that Sportiello's in good shape. Like he's not too old, hopefully.
Yeah, Sportiello's no, Sportiello's the second goalkeeper for me is a top G move. That is a top G move because that is a goalkeeper that you know that even if Magnan is not there, you know you have Leopardo in the goal. You know,
Yeah. Roy, let me ask you this because I haven't been following too much. Um, Based on what you've been hearing,
Yeah.
for this winter market, is there anything good to look forward to, or do you think it's just going to be like Redbird is just not going to do anything, and then same thing as Elliot, basically?
I have no clue. It is completely not. Nobody knows. Um, you
We
have
might get reinforcements.
what?
We need reinforcements.
You have reports that I've spoken about certain players that have come out. Like the most feasible one to me seems the Ziyech one.
I don't want Ziyech, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's the greatest choice, but I mean, it just seems to be the most feasible one. And they have been speaking about it. That one. Aside from that, I don't see any other operations
From what I've
right
been
now.
seeing, I've been watching the World Cup. Ziyech doesn't. I'm gonna like. I don't think he would be a good fit for us because he doesn't really. He just looks like out of it a bit. Like he can shoot and cross. That's true. But besides that, like he doesn't really work much. He's very one dimensional. He always does the same thing. Um, like, and he's also gonna have high wages. So like, I don't think it's a good move. I would go for someone younger.
You would go for someone younger. I mean, yeah, I told you I would go for someone that is even younger but younger. For
Get the next. Yeah,
Johan Bakayoko, next Viceverasquilla.
yeah.
That's who I would go for. Yeah,
I mean, also Doku is available too.
Doku on the right. Is he?
Play
Does he play
both.
more? Huh?
I think he can play both.
Okay. Um,
But we're never gonna. That's the thing. We don't spend money, so
yeah, but honestly, like as I said, like it doesn't seem very clear what they want to do. Um, if you just think about it and put one and two together, you look at all the situations with the players. Ziyech is a player that is on the fringes. He wants to move. He's on the move, and he is basically probably the best option you have to get a high level player for because of the situation. A high level player that is not playing regularly. So yeah, I don't know. I'm with you. I don't. Whatever.
yeah.
Um, yeah. So that's it.
Man, I don't know. I feel like this season, with the way Napoli's playing the league, we were not going to be able to win. But the Champions League, hopefully we can do something good. If we don't, I just hope we show up against Tottenham, like play well.
Show up against Tottenham, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I would like to. I think we can beat Tottenham.
Yeah. We better beat a Premier League team for the first time in like ages.
We're about to. We're going to beat Liverpool.
I'm pretty sure Salah is there.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. How much you want to bet we're going to win this game against Liverpool?
I think we're probably gonna get smoked. It's just
How,
I
how
need
much
to
you want to bet? How
like
much you want to bet?
Arsenal is the top of the Premier League, so they didn't look that good against us, but they were missing some players like we were though. So I don't, and honestly, I have no idea how to judge that game because the way they
Did you?
play in the Premier League is
But did you watch it?
yeah. Um,
Okay.
I think no, they Arsenal didn't really impress me too much to be honest. I just wish that we had won or like done something because every time we lose to a Premier League team, it's like, oh, like we what's it called? The media's like, oh, look, we beat the champions of Italy, like all this crap. But I just want us to get that win, for the first time in a few years. So
Hey, do you know who became the richest man on earth? Well, not the richest man. We know who the richest people are, but the richest man on earth.
what do you mean?
Who became, Elon Musk was the richest man on earth. Now there's a number. Now Elon Musk is number two, and there's a new number one.
Usually that kind of fluctuates though, but I feel like
Take a guess.
is he related to football?
In a certain way, he's related to Milan.
What the fudge?
Huh?
I don't know realistically, unless it's like Abno or someone from the past that Milan was linked with.
Who? Who? Unless it was who?
He's not that French owner that almost got us, right?
Yeah, that's the guy.
Or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, those were some kind of fringe links.
Louis Vuitton.
Yeah, that guy.
There you
Oh
go.
wow, yeah, that's crazy.
Louis Vuitton.
we we would have had, but the thing is, no man can compete with like the entire nation's worth of wealth. But also, it's just Italy isn't really investable. Like,
Hey, let's play a game of chess.
I'll play one game, but I have to go back to studying. So
Yeah, so let's play one game, and we'll shoot the breeze. Talk a little bit about Italy's next Euro, the Italian national team.
all right,
As we do this,
do I have to share my screen?
yeah, yeah.
What have you been practicing or something?
No, but this time I'm gonna get you this time because
Roy, you're muted.
last time it was just like some silly mistakes.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, uh, so I'm looking at this team. I'm looking at how wrong a lot of you guys were about Raspadori, and continue to be wrong. I mean, you have kind of like let go of that narrative, so you've been the bigger man. I congratulate you on that. You have definitely shown
Yeah, he's really good.
you've shown maturity. But Raspadori seems to be like a top G. Then you have Chiesa top G. So I'm
Roy, you
thinking,
can join, by the way. Just saying.
hold on. Oh, let me see. Where was this?
Go to the play button, and then you should see a message that says, "By the way, look who shows up in the chat.
Mr. Perfect, huh? The guy
99
99%. 99%. Those are heavy
Who's saying?
accusations
Did
here.
you Were you skiing with Noel recently? Like, is that why you got injured? So he's finally is ready.
Yeah, so what do you think about the Serie?
I think the city has a very good league. I don't feel like let me take off my. I don't feel like going into heel mode tonight. So, um, yeah. But I feel like why do you always play this like dumb? Like,
Because this is what I want to do.
um, but yeah, the Serie A, like I think it's very underrated. I just think that also it's sad because we're never going to be able to keep our best players. Like Leao is gonna. I'm convinced now that Leao is gone.
You
Uh,
really think so?
yeah, he's pretty much gone. Like if we don't secure the renewal, it means which honestly I think is very dumb for Leao. Like I don't. I it's probably his agent who's pushing him, but I don't think it's a good idea for him to leave because I'm for many different theories. I'm convinced that he would not do well in another club. Um, and then, so that's one thing. Varadskhelia is going to be gone soon
Why?
because you know that other clubs are looking at him already. Theo Hernandez may eventually be gone, but we renewed his contract like not too long ago, so at least we can hold on to him for a bit. But I don't know.
Well, but Varasheria is going to stay there till the end of the season, though.
Yeah, but we'll see.
We definitely will see.
It's like a never-ending cycle with these like other like English PSG clubs, all these different teams because no matter how many players they buy, they're always going to buy the next one. Like they have an unlimited amount of money.
Yeah, I think we can surpass that though soon.
What like how like
How did you castle here?
you have to drag the king two spaces over. Yeah.
There you go. You're done. It's over. Finito.
Look at this guy.
It's finished. How do you see Juventus looking in the second half of the season?
Yeah, look at Hussein over here, man. Funny. Look at Hussein with his Italian political knowledge. Um, but
What is he saying?
say that again, Roy.
What is he saying? What did he say?
Look at the chat.
I'm on a different thing here. Then since you share the same last name with the new time prime minister, you should tell her to use many money time treasures. Funny. Okay.
Roy, you're playing more solid than usual. You haven't like lost your best piece in the first like whatever.
Well, dude, I didn't tell you last time. I tried to put a piece on one square instead it went on another square. Like that's why.
Oh, okay.
What did you just do? You think that was slick? You really think that was slick, huh? It's, you really believe it was slick? You should believe it was slick, though.
You're in deep concentration, I see.
You should definitely believe it was slick. Oh yeah, you wanna you don't like the horse? You don't like your horse?
I
You
don't like
don't
horse.
you don't like horsey? Interesting. Interesting how you sacrifice your horse.
I don't
I
think it's a
thought
sacrifice.
I thought you were a supporter of PETA, but it looks like you're one of these just don't care about
Well,
climate.
you're like the number one enemy of Peter, aren't you?
You don't care about the climate. You don't care about any of
Bro,
that shit.
horse meat tastes good.
Horse meat tastes the best.
Look at this.
Only, only when it is winter. Have you ever heard that before?
No, I don't know what. is lost here right now.
You don't know. That's the problem, man. You don't know. You don't know what is going on. You don't know what is going on. Are you sure you want to do that?
Yep.
Really?
Hmm.
How sure are you?
Positive.
Are you now?
Hmm.
I think that's a mistake, though.
Why is that?
It's the kind of move that you make when things
Unwilling,
things get ugly.
or just winning.
It's the kind of move people make when things get ugly.
It's about to get early for you.
Oh yeah?
What the hell is that crap?
I don't know. Something.
Let's do this. Nah, let's
Hmm,
first.
hmm,
I'll take this.
hmm. Oh, how nice of you.
Yeah, do this.
Excellent. That's exactly what I wanted.
I know you're lying.
Huh?
No, I can tell when you're lying, dude.
How do you know?
Logic.
Really? But that's exactly what I wanted because that gives me the ability to put this here.
Dude, you're not gonna take my bishop, dude? Like
Nah, you can have it. Come on. Oh, so sweet. Shit. Who's hungrier? F or A? Who's hungry? I'm gonna go with you. Yeah. Hungry, hungry, hungry. Oh, ho, ho. Thank you. It is actually what I wanted you to do. I swear.
oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I wanted.
Maiden two question mark?
What's that?
Checkmate in two?
Checkmate in two, you think, huh?
Yes, sir.
Are you sure?
Actually, no, but it was close.
You think you wait? Do you actually think you have the upper hand here? Huh?
What
Is
type
that
of noob question is that?
wait? Is that what you think you have the upper hand?
I don't think I have the upper hand. I'm 100% sure I have the upper hand right now.
You really think so?
Yes.
Okay, let's see.
Ooh, how scary. Let's do this. That looks fun.
You think you're clever.
Well, I just won a piece no matter what, so that's pretty good.
You think so?
Yes. I'm done.
I think something that you don't expect is about to happen.
I think you just got checkmated in two.
Oh
Dude,
shit!
I calculated that move. That's why I said checkmate in two. But I realized that all you had to do to stop it was just move your queen and block me, and you would have prevented the checkmate. But that's why I didn't. I took that back, but you didn't block it. So
Yeah, good.
wait, what do you say?
Good game, well done. Uh, I will get you though, so you know. Make sure you keep on practicing.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that.
All right, my man.
Yeah, I'm gonna head out because I have to do a little bit more studying. Then we'll hit the
Yeah, yeah. We're gonna close here.
a few more days though, and then I'm done. So,
Yeah, I mean, right now we're not. I'll just do the once in a while. I do a late
Roy,
night
who are you
live.
cheering for in the final?
Uh, hmm, neither.
Political answer.
I mean, if Messi wins, it's going to be a good story. If Giroud and Theo win, it's going to be good for us, Milanisti. So it's like a win-win, really. I guess
Yeah,
it's also a little bit of a lose-lose because one team now is going to go to 3 World Cups, and we're starting to put the pressure. So Italy needs to start going again. Like they can't be fucking around.
yeah, that's true. Italy could have won the World Cup.
You think so? Or are you just saying that?
I think they could have because these teams don't. I mean, Argentina and France maybe would have been really difficult for us, but like look at all these teams. Like Italy would have beat Morocco, I think.
I mean, I think that Italy could have beaten any team.
I don't know if they'd be able to beat the Argentina and France because they're both solid. But yes, for most teams, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, some teams are just more difficult to beat, of course. But I think Italy has the ability to let's say be able. The thing about Italy is that Italy is not the best at moving the ball around, etc., etc. But Italy is always like the number one when it comes to suffering. Like
Yeah, Roy,
suffers as well.
I'll tell you this: Italy in the Euros, like in the group stage and in the early games of that tournament, we were just at another level. Like that was so fun to watch.
Yeah, yeah, they're playing some great football.
Then once we hit like Spain, obviously Spain gave us difficulties, but we pulled through. Austria a little bit was got a little tough as well.
Yeah.
Um, and England, of course. But even England, I think for after we conceded most of the game, it was just a pretty
Oh, it was all Italy, man. It was
yeah
all Italy. Yeah. So look, the thing is this: like Italy doesn't need to have the most. Italy has enough quality to beat any team. It doesn't have a superlative amount of quality. It never has, actually. It's always been other teams that had much more quality. But it balances out on the other side where Italy has this very good ability to win games from a tactical standpoint. So against France, yeah, you probably Italy will take it to penalties and try win it that way.
yeah.
Same thing with Argentina.
We
But
have the Donnarumma.
right, Donnarumma is a great goalkeeper. Also, like from the midfield, if you look at the midfields today, like look at Italy's midfield: Barella, Verratti, Jorginho. Like that is probably the best midfield in that,
Tonali.
and Tonali. That
Yeah,
is
he
probably
was
the best midfield.
correct. To be fair, France is missing some players, but yeah,
Yeah, France and Spain is there. Brazil doesn't have a midfield. They didn't bring a midfield in this tournament.
they're playing with just Casemiro.
Yeah, that's it. Everybody else is a forward player.
What? Yeah, yeah. Bucket. It's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, Roy. I have to go, but it was nice seeing you again.
All right. Peace out. Have a good one.
Thanks.
Look at this. Hey, actually, uh, Antonio, why are all City players flopping in this World Cup? System merchant tax. Yep, it is what it is. All right, guys. Have a good one. Peace out. Forza Milan. See you next time.